He was fired in front of the entire staff. No warning, no reason, no respect. But 10 minutes later, the same man walked back through the doors, holding something no one saw coming. What happened next flipped the entire building upside down. Name's Jalen Hughes. No, I don't dunk basketballs, I don't rap, and I sure ain't the mayor's nephew. I sell chairs. Real good ones. And I do it with enough care to make folks feel like they're buying peace, not furniture. That morning started just like the 100 before it. I was at Northstone Furniture by 8:30 sharp, 30 minutes early. Not 'cause I had to, but because that's what grown folks do. You show up, you show out, you do the job better than anyone else around you. And some days, you even get a smile or two for it. I wore my cleanest button-up and my grandfather's watch, the kind that ticks so loud it feels like it's reminding you, don't waste my time, son. So I'm helping this older lady, sweet woman, dressed like it's still 1964, hat, gloves, the whole look. She tells me her husband passed last winter, said he used to pick all their chairs. I don't hit her with discounts or flash. I just listen. I take her to this classic plaid armchair tucked away in the back. Most folks walk right past it. Not flashy enough, but her eyes lit up like someone turned the lights back on inside her. She sat down and whispered, "This feels like him." And right there, she reaches into that huge floral purse and hands me a peppermint. "You're a kind young man," she says. "You made this easy." I took the candy. I'm a grown man, but I ain't too proud to take a moment when it means something. Now here's where it turns. I walk back to the sales floor, and my manager, Gary, is standing there, arms crossed, lips tighter than last week's leftovers. Office. Now. Gary, mid-40s, khaki soul, got promoted for wearing ties, not for doing work. He hated how customers loved me, hated that I knew the warehouse better than he knew his own password. I walk in and there's HR, Emma, with her practiced smile, and some guy I've never seen. Ryan, district supervisor, fancy title, softer handshake. "Jalen, we're restructuring," Ryan says, like he's ordering fries. "Due to corporate realignment, we're letting you go." I blinked once. "You mean you're firing the guy who outsells your whole floor, brings back returning customers, and trains your newbies?" "It's not personal," Emma says. Gary nods like a bobblehead that forgot how to feel shame. I wanted to laugh, wanted to ask if they needed help finding their spine, but I didn't. I stood up, adjusted my collar, said, "Thank you for the opportunity." That's what you say when you're raised right, even if the room stinks of backroom deals and bad decisions. As I walked through the showroom, folks turned their backs. Suddenly, no one saw me. Phones got real interesting, clipboards got real heavy. Except her. That same old woman I helped earlier waved at me from the doorway, peppermint still in hand. "I hope I see you again," she said. And I smiled. Not because I was happy, but because I knew something they didn't. This wasn't over, not by a long shot. What happened next changed everything. You don't want to miss how this story turns upside down. You ever wake up with your whole life flipped and still feel calm? The morning after they fired me, I didn't sleep in. I didn't mope. I brewed my coffee just the way I like it, black, bold, and honest. And I sat at the kitchen table like it was a war room. I wasn't angry. Not yet. What I felt was math. Cold, sharp, unforgiving math. See, I'd been the backbone of that store for 6 straight years. You know what that means? I knew every screw in the system, every corner they cut, every spreadsheet they padded. So I pulled out a notebook. I didn't write a resume. I wrote a blueprint. Let me tell you something about working in corporate retail as a black man who gives a damn. You ain't just fighting numbers. You're fighting the glass ceiling and the sticky floor. But I wasn't about to sit around waiting for karma. Karma's too slow. I wanted receipts. So I called someone who actually saw me long before Northstone ever pretended to. Harold Sams. Now, if you don't know Harold, picture this. Old school sharp, gray suit, real gold watch, talk slow, listen hard. Built his own investment firm from nothing but grit and good instincts. I walked into his downtown office with a folder thicker than corporate denial. "Let me guess," he said, sipping his lemon tea. "You got done dirty." "I didn't just get fired, Harold. I got erased." He looked at me over his glasses. "You trying to get even?" I shook my head. "I'm trying to get in." We spent the next hour going through the numbers, foot traffic, sales curves, regional metrics, customer loyalty surveys. It was all there. Northstone was losing ground, bleeding customers, and riding on one thing: my results. And they cut that loose like it was a frayed shoelace. Harold leaned back, smiling slow. "You come with a plan, son, not a plea. I like that." By the end of the week, the ink was dry. We weren't buying furniture, we were buying leverage. Meanwhile, back at Northstone, things were cracking like old vinyl. Gary was walking around red in the face, talking about sluggish numbers. Ryan was forwarding panicked emails. Emma. Oh, she was hosting damage control meetings like she'd been elected mayor of denial. And customers, bless them, they weren't having it. One woman came in, looked around, and asked loud enough for the ceiling to blush. "Where's the tall brother with the radio voice?" Salesgirl stuttered. "He's no longer with us." "Well, then neither am I." They lost 3 regulars that day. 2 more the next. Word travels fast when the only person treating folks with respect suddenly disappears. By the end of the week, they were offering store credits like apologies and discounts like confessions. And then Monday came. 10:30 a.m. A man in a suit walked into the building and handed Ryan a letter. Emma read it twice. Gary snatched it like it might be a joke. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. The letter announced temporary external management due to strategic transition. New owner, new leadership, effective immediately. And me? I was already in the parking lot, adjusting my tie, wearing the calmest smile I'd worn in years. This is it. Everything you've waited for is about to unfold. Stick around to see how I walked back through those doors, not as an employee, but as something they never saw coming. I pulled up to Northstone at 10:41 a.m. on the dot. Funny how a building can look so different once you stop seeing it as a cage and start seeing it as yours. I stepped out the car. Crisp charcoal suit, polished shoes, calm heart. Not because I wasn't feeling anything, but because everything I'd felt was finally lined up like dominoes. And today, I was ready to knock them down. The front doors opened automatically, like they knew what time it was. Inside, silence. You ever feel the air shift in a room before anyone even speaks? Like the walls already know who's in charge? Gary was standing by the register. Shirt untucked, hair all over the place like he'd slept in that panic. Ryan was by the copier, flipping through forms he wouldn't need in about 5 minutes. Emma? She was holding her tablet like a shield, smiling that corporate smile that don't mean a thing when the foundation's cracked. Then came the moment. My legal rep handed Ryan the transition packet. New management, immediate effect. Control transferred to the new majority stakeholder. Me. Ryan looked at the paper like it was written in a different language. Gary didn't say a word. Just turned pale, like the lighting changed just for him. Emma blinked so fast I thought her app crashed. Then I stepped forward. My name is Jalen Hughes. I've worked here. I've built here. And a week ago, I was dismissed because someone in this room thought I was just a number on a payroll. I paused. Let it breathe. But I'm not here to settle scores. I'm here to raise standards. You ever seen a room full of people try to act calm while the floor drops out? I laid it out plain. This team will be restructured, not by fear, not by favoritism, but by principle. You stay if you serve with integrity. You leave if you can't look customers or each other in the eye. And I wasn't bluffing. That same day, Gary cleared out his office, didn't shake hands, didn't say goodbye, just packed up whatever pride he had left and walked out. Emma asked to stay on, said she wanted to learn. I gave her 3 months. I wasn't cruel. But I wasn't playing either. We rebuilt that store from the ground up. Not just policies, the energy. I brought in people who cared, not just showed up. And slowly, customers came back. Not for discounts, for dignity. 2 weeks later, I saw her, the same woman I helped that morning with the peppermint. She walked in, saw me behind the new counter, and her hand went to her chest. "You stayed?" she said. I smiled. "No, ma'am, I came back." I handed her a gift card with her name on it. She laughed. "You didn't have to do that." "After what you gave me?" "Yeah, I did." And before she walked out, she placed another peppermint in my hand. They fired me like I was a problem. I came back as the solution.